Hey everyone. I realized that I don't have a video talking about our partner program, so I wanted to take a few minutes and share with you exactly what that is, exactly how we're working with partners, and how you can join the partner program if you're interested in working with us in that capacity. So from the very beginning, from you know, basically, it feels like a year and a half ago now. I've talked about the Cherwell community, and I think that was really something that set Cherwell apart. The community of builders that built configuration and content for the Cherwell platform, and the community of partners that also did that, but enabled companies to use Cherwell to its fullest capacity. Um, Obviously, partners do that for money, right? This is a business model. Um, but that was something that was really exciting to me about how Cherwell worked, in the early days. Cherwell leveraged partners to basically expand their capabilities and multiply their capabilities. And that seems really exciting to me. I don't want people to feel, basically like it's a vendor purchaser relationship. I want there to be a true partnership aspect to it. I want you to feel bought into the platforms that you're using. And even though Cortex for Cherwell, especially in its early days as just an archive tool, is fairly simple and straightforward, there isn't a whole lot of configuration. In fact, you don't have to configure anything if you don't want to. Um, th- there is some stuff that you can configure and some stuff that you might want to draw on other people's experiences for. Um, and of course, for us, just starting out, we really wanted to get the awareness out there. It was important for us to get in front of as many people as possible because 3 years is a very short time, right? From late 2023 to the end of 2026, that's the end of life timeline. 3 years is not a lot of time because realistically, by the end of 2024, you're probably looking at your options. By the end of 2025, you've chosen an option, if not before then. And by the end of 2026, you have to be on to the next platform. Really not a lot of time. So it was really important for us to get in front of as many people who are using Cherwell as possible, primarily to get the awareness out. Obviously, we would love it if everyone would use our platform, would use Cortex for Cherwell. But we understand that it may not be the right tool for the job. We think it is in 99% of the cases. But if you don't need something as advanced as what we're providing, we won't push the issue. We're always here if you need us. But there's only so much we can do as far as getting out into the world, getting out in front of people. Posting on LinkedIn is something that we've done quite a bit of. Obviously, we have this YouTube channel, but our network only goes so far. What we really wanted to draw on was our network of our network, namely partners. So from the very beginning, we started talking to, uh, at that point, current and former Cherwell partners. Some of us are still partnered with Avanti, officially, but most Cherwell partners have moved on to be partners with Halo and Easy Vista and Fresh Service and uh, Atlassian and name a few others. Everyone has pretty much figured out which ITSM platform or platforms they want to represent. They feel that their expertise can carry over to. And if you're looking for a partner to help you move off of Cherwell, look to the partner who helped you move onto Cherwell if you worked with a partner. If you didn't work with a partner, we're working with, in some capacity, many of those partners. So feel free to check them out. But I should get back to the purpose of this video. This video is specifically for partners and people interested in becoming partners or wondering why you might want to be a Synapse software partner. Uh, so right now, it's all about license revenue. Yes, you could certainly build in a license to Cortex into your project where you're moving someone from Cherwell to any one of those platforms or any of the platforms that I didn't name. You could certainly build it into a project there. But the idea is that we are all helping people move off of Cherwell. Um, whatever that looks like for them, uh, we can share that load. And for us, the benefit is that we get in front of a lot more people than we could possibly contact by ourselves. And also, you already have the established relationships with these people. It's not just us sending them an email out of the blue. Who is this company? Who is Synapse Software? We've never heard of them. And then, of course, for you, you have an additional, revenue stream realistically. And yes, I recognize that it's probably not much compared to the projects that you're proposing, but it's an added selling point, right? It reassures people that they have a path forward with their old data. All of the things that I've been talking about in previous videos about not having to worry at night, not being kept up at night, worrying about what do I do with my old data, not having to worry about how to shoehorn it into the next platform, not having to worry about losing data or making compromises by trying to import it somewhere else. That's a big deal, and that can help you win your deals in proposing the platforms that you're working with and the projects that you're proposing with them as well. So it's a huge selling point for you. It obviously brings awareness to us and brings more prospects into us. So it really is a win-win situation. And we're not uh, we're not the type of partner program where we say, hey, you can resell us, and then we just walk away and you're on your own. We're very hands-on. We know that that's not a good way to build a relationship, and that's not a good way to set you up for success as a partner. So we make sure that you understand the product. You understand a lot of the questions that we get asked, that our partners get asked, um, and so that you feel comfortable going into those demos with customers, showing them our demo site, which is always online. It's always showing the latest version of Cortex, and you can always find a link to it down in the description of our videos. And answer the questions, technical questions, policy questions, anything that you get. And any questions that prospects and customers have for you, you're prepared to answer that. We're always ready and willing to help out on those calls as well. It's really easy for us to do a demo. At this point, I've done the demo spiel dozens, possibly hundreds of times. And even though Cortex has obviously evolved over the last several months, the demo has been pretty much the same because the problems that people are trying to solve and the goals that people are trying to accomplish haven't changed. They still want a way to get to their Cherwell data, and we show how Cortex enables them to do that. And that's all the demo is. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on questions, it can go longer, but usually what makes the demo call itself go significantly longer is that people recognize the value and they start asking the next level of questions. How do I install this? How do I get this integrated with my network infrastructure? What security implications does it have? Am I hosting this internally or are you hosting this for me? That's an easy one. They are hosting it internally. It is a self-hosted application on premise, if you want to go with the older terminology. Then we started using self-hosted because there's this whole cloud thing that makes that kind of confusing. Does hosting it in my own cloud make it self-hosted? Or it does make it self-hosted, but doesn't make it on premise. Um, so anyway, we have a conversation about that. But that's usually what the bulk of those calls are about. And again, for the first several, we're more than happy to jump on those calls with you. If it's a really, high value, potentially contentious relationship, we're more than happy to jump on that call, where we provide value. We want to set you up for success. We want to make sure that you're in the best place you possibly can be to, land the deals, right? We want to make you look good. We want you to help us look good. It really is a partnership, and there's a symbiosis there. Um, in addition to that, as far as like the installation side goes, we're more than happy to do that. Installation of Cortex is super simple, and I think the longest installation time that I've had to deal with is 3 hours over the course of a few days. And that was just because there were a few uh, configuration hurdles specific to that company's network and infrastructure. On the other end of the spectrum, I can have Cortex installed and running in 10 or 15 minutes if I have all the prerequisites in place and I know all of the pieces of information that I'm going to need to, connect to the database and that sort of thing. The two pieces that take the most time are uh, restoring the Cherwell data into a SQL Server database, which realistically I don't even get involved in. That's something that most people are capable of handling themselves. Most people are familiar with, um, and it doesn't add any value for me to be sitting on a call with them while they, wait for a progress bar to go across the screen. The other part that takes the longest is integrating authentication, integrating the single sign-on provider with Cortex. And that's just because there are a lot of configuration options, a lot of little subtle variations between single sign-on providers and how individual companies have them set up. Um, but our documentation is set up in such a way that it's basically a workflow, a flow chart of start here. This is the simplest configuration. If that doesn't work and you see this, do this other thing. If you see this second error message, do this other thing. It's very straightforward, and all of the information is very visible to you. So it just takes time and care and walking through the process. So that's probably a little bit more detail than I needed to go into this video, but I do want to circle back to some of the high level things. So what does a partnership with Synapse Software look like? Well, we have a partnership agreement and a partnership program. You can see documentation on all of that at the link down in the description below. It's also synapsesoftware.com/partners. There's a form there where you can just submit some information to join our partner program, and then um, it'll send you an email and you're in. Basically, fill out that form, and that signals your intent to join the partner program. There is a manual approval process, uh, and basically we say yes, we're ready to support you as a partner, and we're happy to have you aboard. Um, we might have some questions for you about, the territories you're going to represent and how you're going to bring uh, customers in. But if you already have been working with Cherwell for several years, that's pretty much taken care of. That's pretty obvious. Um, we do have two partner levels, actually three, but two that we document and show on our website. One is just a simple referral program. If you have customers that you're working with and you want to send them our way uh, because you think they would be interested in Cortex, that's the referral program. You get a small finder's fee, but it's basically on us to demo Cortex to them, and do all the sales work. Land the deal and that sort of thing. We basically, you refer them to us, we take it from there. That also means that we support them, we manage the relationship, um, and us, you're more than welcome to demo the product, but you don't have to be an expert on Cortex specifically. Just be able to answer some high level questions and then send them our way, and then we'll take it from there. The other one is our standard partnership level, which is a little bit more involved. Basically, you manage the relationship, you demo to the customer, you handle the relationship. At that point, you're able to bundle Cortex and potentially any installation work into a project that you're already pitching the customer, or bundle it together with a Halo or an Easy Vista or something like that. Um, or you could just sell it on its own as its own thing, but then you handle the relationship. Basically, the customer is yours, and you perform like first level support. So if they have any questions, they would contact you. Your standard support terms. We don't impose any regulations, any requirements on that. So whatever your standard support for your customers is totally fine. Because again, that's an agreement between you and the customer. You handle that relationship. If you run into any issues, you escalate to us. So we perform the second tier at that point. Um, and that's you get a little bit larger share of the revenue of the license revenue. Um, and if you have specific questions about that, go ahead and schedule some time with me. There's a link down in the video description where you can book some time on my calendar or just send me an email, ask some questions um, if you want more details on the partnership program. If neither of those options works for you, uh, we would be open to exploring other relationships. Um, but that obviously that would take more time because it requires me to read the email and talk with you and figure out exactly what'll work for the both of us. So if you want to join the partnership program, again, the link is synapsesoftware.com/partners, I believe. It'll be in the video description. I think it's partners plural, synapsesoftware.com/partners. If you have additional questions, leave them on the video description, the comments, video comments, or send me an email. And I think that's everything I wanted to say about the partnership program. Again, we're really excited about our partnership program. It absolutely changes how we're able to do business in an extremely positive way. We're able to be orders of magnitude more effective in reaching the market and helping all the folks who are still on Cherwell. There are lots of people who are still on Cherwell who haven't moved off of Cherwell. Um, Reaching them, helping them move off onto the other platforms that are going to be around after 2026, and be in a really successful, really positive position, um, and actually have the opportunity to like take a deep breath and have some, relief from the stress of, oh no, my platform is going away. I've actually seen it on customers' faces. Um, they go from kind of being in a panic of, I have all this data that I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with, to, oh, well, that's solved. Now I can focus on picking the right platform for me to move on to, that's going to serve me for the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, however far out they're looking. They don't have to worry about what's going to happen with their old data anymore. So with that, I'm going to end the video. If you want to join the partner program, go check out the link in the description, and I hope to see you around. At the very least, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.